Freeman Soares in the 51. The 13 is Joe Warren. The 11 is Lance Raptoy. 2 is Metal Man. And the 17 is James Sayward. That's the field. First qualifier for the Renegades is under green as we drop the green flag on another Saturday night of short track racing action at the Big A, and they are duking it out at the front of the field. 3 wide for the lead. It's Curtis Seymour on the top of turn number 2, taking the lead down the backstretch. Here comes Andrew Bordeaux with him in the 08 on the inside. The 357 takes the lead off of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1 as they race down the front stretch 3 wide, racing for 4th. The final practice session for the Renegades, that number 3 car had a tire come right off the race car and went flying off towards turn number 2. They've been able to make repairs to the 3 as wheel went flying off. And he is running now in the 3rd spot as they were able to fix that car up. Racing for the lead is the 357 Curtis Seymour, the 08 of Andrew Bordeaux. Bordeaux is on the inside. The 357 of Seymour works the outside. He gets a good run over in turn number 2. Seymour will hang on to lead, but Andrew Bordeaux sticking right with him on the inside. Side-by-side racing for the 3rd spot. Here comes Rob Favreau. Josh Allen also coming through on the inside as they parted the 3 of Dave Drake left and right. Favreau goes to 3rd. Allen goes to 4th. Drake falls back to 5th. 6th is Joe Warren. 7th is Mark Caron. 8th right now is Lance Raptoy in the 11 car. Out front, Andrew Bordeaux has the nose of the 08 in the lead going to turn number 3. Here he comes off the 4th turn, working on the inside, and it's going to be Andrew Bordeaux leading this lap. Halfway in qualifier number 1. Lap number 4 going up on the scoreboard. It's Andrew Bordeaux in the 08 leading the 357 of Curtis Seymour in the 2nd spot. He's a car length off the back bumper of Bordeaux, was able to work that inside line to the lead. Rob Favreau runs 3rd in the 22. 4th is Josh Allen in car number 10, and then it's Joe Warren in car number 13 running in the 5th spot. Lance Raptoy has gone to 6th with a Culligan-sponsored number 11. Danamora's Andrew Bordeaux maintaining a car length. Make it 2 now down the backstretch going to turn number 3. Then it's a car length from Curtis Seymour back to Rob Favreau's 22. That 22 car has 1 victory this season. Car number 10 for Josh Allen running in 4th. Joe Warren, who is our 3rd place point man at car number 13, is 5th. And 6th is our 2nd place point man. That is Lance Raptoy at car number 11. 50 laps is the feature event distance tonight for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade division. And it's important to qualify well, try to get your handicap start towards the front of the field. And right now, Andrew Bordeaux is doing just that. White flag is out for the 08. Bordeaux leading by 2, make it 3 car lengths as they work towards the backstretch. Seymour in 2nd, Rob Favreau running 3rd, 4th is Allen in car number 10. Here comes Lance Raptoy looking to challenge for the 5th spot on the outside, but there's no challenging the winner. That's going to be the 08 of Andrew Bordeaux. Checkered flag for Bordeaux, 2nd to Seymour, 3rd to Favreau, 4th to Allen, 5th to Warren, and 6th to Lance Raptoy in car number 11. Final row, good to see Dan Dubuque back with car number 61, and shotgun on the field to 02 for Jimmy Collins. That's the field. 12 cars take the green flag in this 2nd qualifier for the Renegades. Bob Dragoon pushes in 1 and 2. The 69 of Don Franklin had to get on the binders after some pretty significant impact from that 36 as it pushed up the racetrack, and it boxed up right behind the 36 and the 69 as they were making contact with one another. 3 wide right behind the 36 car. Here comes Robert Gordon through on the inside. The 25 of Kevin Booten seeing that inside line likely to move. He's going to follow the H2O around. And the 86 of Rick Donor trying to get to that inside spot, but can't get there as Don Franklin was able to thread the needle and come through. He'll go to the 6th position. Out front, Lonnie Rivers in car number 7. He's a former 2-time track champ in that number 7 car. He's leading Jason McClatchy and Josh Terry, who's been one of the fastest drivers in this division the last month or so in the Renegades, in car number 43. Youngster in that 43 car has been doing extremely well. Week by week, certainly running towards the front of the field, and that's where he's headed right now. Here he comes on the inside of car 7 and Lonnie Rivers. Rivers still had the lead of the line, almost touching at the start-finish line. The 43 sticks down on the inside at turns 1 and 2. Off of 2 down the backstretch. He's got the lead in the middle of the backstretch. Let's see if Lonnie can put up a fight on the outside going to 3 and 4. Josh Terry's car number 43 coming through on the inside. He will lead this lap. Josh Terry is the leader, pulling away from Lonnie Rivers. Rivers going to try to hang on to the 2nd spot. Jason McClatchy in car number 70 is eyeing that inside line as they run side by side for the 2nd position, side by side for 4th as well. The H2O, Kevin Booten, they're all in the mix. As you got McClatchy, Ribble, contact going to turn number 3. McClatchy gets on the binders. Everybody gets on the binders right behind him as he got a piece of the 7 car, Lonnie Rivers. He had to roll up, and that pushed his car bad up the racetrack. And the H2O with the 25, everybody else behind him had to scramble to try to avoid making contact with the 70. McClatchy made contact with the 7th, did the right thing in getting on the binders, allowing Lonnie to collect his car. But in so doing, that really boxed it up right behind him, and Jason ended up drifting up the racetrack, and everybody else raced past. 2 laps to go for Josh Terry in the 43. The 7 Alani Rivers holding on to the 2nd spot. 3rd is the H2O of Rob Gordon. 4th is Kevin Booton in car number 25. 5th is Don Franklin, the Big Daddy, in car number 69. And then you've got Rick Donor, last week's winner in car number 86, running in the 6th spot. And there's 1 to go for Josh Terry. Josh Terry is the 5th place point man, 54 out of the top position coming into tonight. He has 1 victory, and he's about to get a victory in qualifier number 2. Good battle for that 2nd spot between the H2O and the 7. Checkered flag is out. Josh Terry is going to get the win. Here is the race for 2nd. It's going to be a race for 3rd, actually, as Gordon gets 2nd. I believe Kevin Booton just barely nipping Lonnie Rivers at the line for the 3rd spot. And that's typical side-by-side racing in the Renegades as they were fighting for that 2nd and 3rd position. The Gloss Truck Center, number 90. 9 machines take the green flag. They race off turn number 2. Bryant Trim in car number 28 shows the way. Here comes Mike LaBreche on the outside as they're 3 wide going to turn number 3. Jimmy Ryan in the 60 is the meat and the sandwich. The one of Bertillon comes through on the inside as they work their way off turn number 4. Michael LaBreche in the 99 trying to get to the 3rd spot on the outside of the 60 of Jimmy Ryan. He'll go to 3rd. Here comes the 78 of Vince Quinville. Also keep an eye on the 90. Meanwhile, out front, here comes Bertillon in a 1. Pierre Bertillon coming through on the inside. He'll take the lead away off turn number 4. Pierre Bertillon's the leader. In the 2nd spot, it's the 28 of Trim. 3rd is Michael LaBreche. Running in the 4th position, it's the 78 of Vince Quinville. Look at the 90 work the top. Picking that left front tire right up off the racing surface. He's in 5th. Still working on the outside, eyeing a pass to the 78 of Vince Quinville. Martinois in number 90 had to get on the binders. Now shifts down to the inside, flying past the LaBreche number 99, who appears to be off the pace. Now Martinois with a bold move. That was a fantastic move by Martinois off the 4th turn as he worked down to the inside of the racetrack to get around a couple of cars. Now back to the top, thinking 3 wide off the 4th turn. He thought better of it in the qualifier. Pierre Bertillon pulling away out front. 2nd is Vince Quinville. Here comes Martinois diving down to the inside off turn number 2. He'll slingshot to the 3rd position. Bryant Trim, the 28, falls back to the 4th spot as we're halfway in the first qualifier for the Mod Squad. Pierre Bertillon leads. Vince Quinville runs 2nd. Martinois works 3rd. Trying to get that 2nd spot away from Quinville in the middle of the backstretch. Going to turn number 3. Martinois stays on it. Goes to the top of the racetrack. He'll take it right to the wall off turn number 4. Quinville trying to hang on to that 2nd spot. At the line, it was still Quinville by a couple of feet. But Martinois has a good run over in turn number 2. See you later. He goes to the 2nd position. And Vince Quinville will fall back to 3rd. 4th is Bryant Trim. 5th is Jimmy Ryan. 6th is Adam Bartamy. 7th is Aaron Bartamy. 8th is Mike Riel. And 9th is Michael LaBreche in the number 99. Pierre Bertillon has half the backstretch. That's the advantage over Martinois' number 90 machine. 3rd is Vince Quinville in the number 78. Bryant Trim running in 4th with 2 laps to go. 2 to go for the JM Racing machine of Pierre Bertillon. You can see that Martinois has been able to eat a little bit into the advantage that Bertillon has built up, but not much. He's in a position where he would pick up handicap. He's going to be starting in the middle of the pack anyways. He really doesn't want to push that machine too much because they'll likely use the same, they have to use the same tires for their feature event, and he doesn't want to chew that right rear up too much. White flag on the field. Here comes Bertillon off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is going to be out. Pierre Bertillon wins it going away. Martinois runs 2nd. 3rd it is Vince Quinville. In the 4th spot, it's the 28 of Bryant Trim. A lot of smoke billowing out of the 02 of Mike Riel as he tries to get across the line. 5th was Jimmy Ryan in car number 60. 6th was Adam Bartamy. 7th was Aaron Bartamy. 8th, Mike Riel. And 9th was Mike LaBreche. They pick up the pace as the cars head towards turn number 4. Here they come along the front stretch. Green flag. The 100 of LaBreche works the top of the racetrack. The 76 of Wells down on the inside. LaBreche will follow him going to turn number 3. Patrick Dupree trying to move out of the middle of the pack with car number 24. George Foley, keep an eye on him from the back of the pack, and then number 34, he goes to the top of the racetrack. So you've got already the 24 in the 4th spot, sizing up the 49 of Richard Tisser, who pushes in 2, and that allows room for the 24 to move to the inside, going to 3 and 4. George Foley's working the rim, the 49 of Tesser on the outside as well. I'm not sure that car is handling the way he would like it to. Mike Wells is showing the way. And in the 2nd spot, It is Roger Labreche in the number 100. Third is Patrick Dupree. George Foley's he gets the right side tires off into the bunker, kicks up a whole bunch of dirt on the backstretch. He's still running in the fifth spot. Did not cost him a position, but he went for a rough ride on the backstretch. The leader is Mike Wells. Second, Roger Labreche in the number 100. Third is Patrick Dupree in the 24. George Foley going after the outside of the 49 of Richard Tisser, and he'll grab it. Tisser sliding back to the fifth spot. Craig Riel running in the sixth position. Seventh is Pat McGrail. Eighth is Mike Finney. And ninth is Jim Introne in the number 9 machine. The 76 of Mike Wells started on point. He has led every lap, and he's halfway home. Mike Wells the leader. Roger Labreche, who was strong in practice, holds down the second spot. Patrick Dupree working that inside line in the number 24, has the Saranac Country Store machine running in the third position. He's just off the back bumper of car 100, and then trying to close the gap on the top 3 is George Foley in the Shamrock Barn Grill number 34. Wells, big time trouble in turn number 2. That car just shut right down. There was no power with the 76 coming off of turn number 2. And the 100 of Labreche really had no place to go as he tried to get around the outside, got a piece of the 76, and that turned him around over in turn number 2, but that 76 was shutting down. 6 laps complete, 4 laps remain in this second qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. The green flag's back out. Can Roger Labreche hold off Patrick Dupree? Dupree goes to the top of the racetrack. Here he comes off turn number 2. Tries to vault pass down the backstretch, but Labreche says not quite so fast. Now Dupree draws even going to turn number 4. He's going to work it to the wall. Labreche works down to the inside to the line. It's Patrick Dupree in the lead. Dupree leading by a couple of feet at the stripe. Labreche comes back on the inside, pushes now, had to get on the binders to collect the car. And that allows the 24 to drive past to the lead. Labreche runs in the second spot. Third is George Foley. A gap back to Pat McGrail, who has rallied. McGrail has gone to the 4th spot with car number 10. Running in 5th is Richard Tisser in the number 49. Less than 2 laps remaining now. And you've got Craig Riel in the CO2 and Mike Finney in car number 38. Now again, without the roof, it's a whole different ball game aerodynamically and setup-wise. They've got to try to figure out what their drivers need to get these cars around here. And some teams struggling with that setup. Other teams doing a pretty nice job tonight. George Foley sizing up the 100 of Labreche. Try to get a good run off turn number 2. He's got a couple of other turns to work with. If he gets that second spot, he'll have to do it on the top of the racetrack. Checkered flag, Patrick Dupree wins. Labreche runs to the second position. Foley is third. McGrail 4th. Tisser 5th. Craig Riel 6th. And Mike Finney finishes in the 7th spot. Dan Brown, a scratch in this qualifier, popped the motor in practice. Here comes the field off 4. Green flag. Chris Vernal, 10th place in the points in the 97, shows the way off turn number 2. The 55 of Matt Woodruff runs in the second spot. Matt has put a lot of hours into that car, putting basically a new piece underneath him. A chassis that they picked up from Pennsylvania. And then Matt and a bunch of friends working to try to put the car together, and they were working on it right up until, told me that they left their garage last Saturday at 4:30, arrived at the racetrack just before post time, got in a few practice laps trying to dial in that 55. They've also had work done on the motor to make sure that that's working properly after a hard wreck when Matt Woodruff in the 55 skipped a wheel over in turn number 4 and smashed his other mount into this, just stuffed it into the wall after he went flying, skipping the wheel off at turn number 4. Woodruff is running in the second spot. Third is Max Vienne on the inside, hugging that inside line. Look at him, that left front tire right up off the racing surface with the number 46. Vienne is running in the third spot. Woodruff holding him off to this point. Chris Vernal leading comfortably out front. Here comes Max through on the inside. Max Vienne goes to position number 2. Third is Matt Woodruff in the 55. Greg Atkins is 4th in car number 1. Andy Haywood to the 5th spot with the number 80. Leon Gagnon runs in position number 6 with the 4 car. Then it's Jim McComb and Chris Kaye in the number 18. Halfway in qualifier number 3. Chris Vernold in the 97 leading by about half the backstretch over Max Vienne, who continues to really pick that left front tire right up off the racing surface off turn number 2, and you'll see him again do it right in front of you on the main grandstand off the 4th turn. Matt Woodruff holding on to the 3rd position, but he's starting to feel some heat from the 1 of Greg Atkins. Leon Gagnon and Andy Haywood battling for position. Gagnon has the 5th spot right now. Haywood on the outside running in 6th, but they're closing in on the battle that's in front of them as they run wheel to wheel for the 4th and 3rd position. Greg Atkins in the 1, Matt Woodruff with a double nickel. Then the 80 of Haywood, the 4 of Gagnon right in the middle as well. as there's good racing for spots 3 through 6 in this third qualifier. 2 laps to go for Chris Vernold, and he has a sizable advantage over Max Vienne. Andy Haywood in the number 80 got a piece of another vehicle off on the front stretch. I believe it might have been Leon Gagno's number 4. He had to get on the binders. That cost him a bunch of track position as he is now back in that 6th spot. The battle's still ongoing for spots 3, 4, and 5. Matt Woodruff in the 55 had to get on the brakes that time as the 1 looked to push up the racetrack, and Woodruff played it safe. Cost him a spot, though. Well, here comes your winner into turn number 4. Down the front stretch, it's going to be car number 97 for Chris Vernold. He wins. Max Vienne to the 2nd position. Finishing in 3rd, it's Greg Atkins. 4th is Leon Gagno. 5th is Matt Woodruff. 6th is Andy Haywood. 7th, Jim McComb. And 8th is Chris Kaye in the number 18. Qualifying.
6-lap mini modified qualifier number 1 lined up and ready to go. Hernandez, Woodward lead them down to the green flag. It's a nice start from Malcolm Woodward on the outside, but here comes Rico right back on the inside. They're going to run together up the backstretch. Woodward kicking it up in the bunker. He's going to go from 2nd back to 7th. And he'll continue to lose spots as he is hung on that far outside. 4 wide action in the mini modifieds off turn 4. Rico Hernandez is your leader in the 3. Here comes Larry Archer alongside in the 23, and here comes Speedy Brissett in the 03, being followed by Chris Clark in the 77. They look to move up on the inside. Brissett is your new leader. Clark's going to follow him through in the bottom of the racetrack to take that number 2 spot. And here comes the Pink Panther, Scott Richner on the inside. He wants that 3rd spot away from Larry Archer, who will fall back to 4th. The King's on the move on the inside. He looks to challenge Larry Archer for that number 4 spot as Jamie LaFountain takes 5th with that 20 car. We've got a car the wrong way in the backstretch, but he gets it straightened out. We'll stay green. Eric Tatro spun the 01, but quickly gathered it in and has got it refired. 2-car battle up front for the top spot. Speedy Brissett, the points leader in the 03, but here comes Chris Clark on the bottom of the racetrack in the 77. Clark inside, Brissett outside. 2 laps to go. Scott Richner running by himself in that number 3 spot. The King runs 4th. Varno on the inside will take the 5th spot away from Larry Archer. They come to get the white flag on the outside. Speedy Brissett on the inside. Chris Clark. 1 lap remains. They continue to battle for the point. Now Speedy takes the lead, tries to drop to the bottom of the racetrack, drifts high off turn 1. That allows the door opening up for Chris Clark in the 77. Clark on the inside is your leader. Speedy trying to pick him up on the outside. Speedy high into turn 4. Not going to be enough. Chris Clark to win it. Speedy Brissett finishes 2nd. The Pink Panther, Scott Richner, finishes 3rd. 4th spot goes to the King, Jamie LaFountain, and Jimmy Varno will round out your top 5 in the 07. We are ready to go with this second qualifier. Eric Riel in the 02, Chad Collins the 22. That's the front row. They set a slow pace as they come off turn 4. They'll look for the green. We are underway. It's a good start on the inside for Eric Riel, but it's also a good start for Josh Lavarnway in the 13. He has quickly moved up to the number 2 spot, but look at Josh Leclerc in the 7 on the move. Leclerc will go to the bottom of the racetrack and have that number 2 spot. He started in 6th. He's 2nd already. Eric Riel leads lap number 1 by half a car length. He runs on the outside into the 02, but Josh Leclerc on the move in the 7. Leclerc on the inside, sticks it nose in front, but Riel coming right back on the outside. Eric Sales looks to split the middle as they're 3 wide, coming off turn 4 in the battle for the number 2 spot. Josh Leclerc in the 7 is your leader. John Bradley on the inside in the 69. Battles alongside Eric Sales for that number 2 spot. Eric Riel trying to come back and join that battle, but right now he's going to settle into the number 4 spot, while Josh Laporte is 5th. Halfway. Josh Leclerc continues to maintain that advantage. Eric Sales has now taken 2nd away from John Bradley, and he moves up on the outside of the 7 car. Sales sticks a nose in front. Leclerc coming right back at him on the inside. 2 to go. We have seen some great racing in the mini-modified qualifiers this evening. A great battle in the first one, and we've got another battle going on here as well. Sales on the outside's got the lead, and Bradley looks to come right with him to take that second spot, but Josh says not yet. He's going to hang on to second. 1 to go. Eric Sales has opened up a couple of car lengths on the battle for the number 2 spot. Right now it's Josh Leclerc's, but John Bradley going to take one more shot as they come into turns 3 and 4 the final time. Off turn 4, down the front stretch, checkered flag in the air. Eric Sales wins it. Josh Leclerc gets second, John Bradley third, fourth to the 0-2 of Eric Riel and Josh Laporte. Rounds out your top 5 in car number 45.
And shotgun on the field. It's Jamie Begor in the number 19. 10 cars ready to run. Green flag is out. And that outside line gets a good start as Dan Sullivan takes the lead away from the 93. Casey St. Clair in the 56 looking to move. The 57 pushed up the racetrack. Now the yellow call goes out on the receiver to the drivers. Here they come as we'll try again. Green flag. A good start on the outside for Dan Sullivan in the 3 car. The 93 of Frenier in the second position. They'll race off turn number 2, 3 wide, almost 4 wide coming off the second turn. Sean Duquette trying to thread the needle, had to back out of it as he had the Myers 75 and the Bruno 33 on the outside and inside respectively. The leader is Dan Sullivan in lap number 1. Chris Frenier holding down that second spot. The field is really boxed up. I mean, you look at the 61 and the 19, the 29, really no place to go as they're trying to find a lane. 3 wide down the backstretch. It's a traffic jam going to turn number 3. The 57 of Stoner coming through on the inside. Frenier trying to hang with him. St. Clair is up against the wall, and now they're 3 wide for the third spot. Bruno still down on the inside. Frenier in the 93 in the middle. The 56 of St. Clair still working the extreme top of the track as they throw a blanket on about 7 cars behind the 57 of Stoner, jockeying for position. Robin Wood, Nick Haywood, Jamie Begor trying to jockey for position as well. They're still 3 wide running around the track. Tight racing. As the 93 of Frenier goes down to the inside, that opens up the middle line for Duquette in the 18. The leader's Dan Sullivan. He's checked out. Forget about that. The 57 of Stoner's running second, but from there on back, it's just a whale of a race because they're running side by side, 3 wide, inside, outside, all over the place, trying to fight for position. The battle for third is ongoing. The 33 of Bruno, the 56 of St. Clair. Robin Wood has found some running room down on the inside. He's trying to pick up some position. Jamie Begor, who started 10th, is right now running in the 9th spot. He's only gained 1 spot as we're halfway in this qualifier. Danny Sullivan with a huge lead out front. Howard Stoner second in the 57. Third, St. Clair and the 33 of Bruno running in the 4th spot, but they've been flip-flopping that third position seemingly by the corner that they're in. The 33 right now has third in turn number 4, but as they come down the front stretch, the 56 has it back at the start-finish line. So good racing for third. Again, those cars that are right behind them, Robin Wood and Sean Duquette in the 61 and the 18, they're trying to find some running room, but the track is blocked in front of them. Perhaps Robin in the 61 could find room underneath the 33 if he pushes up over in turn number 2, but he was pretty smooth off of turn 4 that time, protecting that inside line. Let's see if there's any type of push from the... No, Robin's not there. The 18 of Sean Duquette just off the back bumper of the 56 of St. Clair, and Robin Wood right behind the 33 of Bruno, and the 57 seems to be falling back to them as he is in the 2nd spot. 2 laps to go for Danny Sullivan in the 3 car. The 57 of Stoner works in the 2nd spot. The 33 of Bruno, the 56 of St. Clair, the 61 of Wood, the 18 of Duquette. Throw a blanket on those 4 cars racing for third. Then it's Nick Haywood in the 29, Jamie Begor in the 19. Begor goes to the inside. He's going to try to follow Robin Wood, but you can see his car is sideways in turn number 4. That car not handling as well as it was last week when Jamie picked up his first win of the season. Well, the winner's going to be Danny Sullivan. Howard Stoner's probably going to finish second. But the battle for... Oh, look out! They touch going to turn number 3. Robin Wood gets a piece of it. The 33 of Bruno, the 18 of Duquette. As the yellow flag comes out, it's going to be yellow in checkers. But that was you could just see, it was a recipe for disaster as they were running 3 wide going to turn number 3. One of the cars making contact with another that sent the 33 down towards the inside. Robin Wood was working that inside line. He got smacked And that 61, that is the point leader's car. The defending track champion went flying off the top of turn number 3 out towards the billboards. Bucko will start 9th and try to work his way to the front. Qualifier number 2 for the J&S Steel Sportsman cars takes the green flag. The 11 of Jimmy Bushy moves up the racetrack going to turns 1 and 2. He tries to hang on to his race car. The 59 of Stephen Brissett had to get on the binders. Here's the 86, Mike Shagnon showing the way. The 4 of Brandon Atkins on the outside. Look at Bucko Branham work almost 3 wide right up against the wall. The 86 of Shagnon leads. Brandon Atkins runs in the 2nd spot. Jamie Atkins is 3rd. Look at that 20 go. Bucko Branham on the outside started dead last. He's already in 3rd. Branham is flying with that number 20 on the outside. He's to the 3rd spot. 4th is Jamie Atkins with a number 68. 5th is Keith Pelkey with a number 24. Branham is closing in quickly on the back of the 4 car of Brandon Atkins. Mike Shagnon's the leader with the 86. Brandon Atkins in the number 4 runs 2nd. The number 20 of Bucko Branham runs in 3rd. Then it's a good gap back to the 68 and the 24. The 24 of Pelkey on the outside. The 68 of Atkins on the inside. And we've got a battle out front for the lead. The 86 of Shagnon hanging on to the lead by a car length. The 4 and the 20, Atkins in car number 4, Branham in car number 20 battling for the 2nd spot. Could be a 3-car battle for the lead off of turn number 4 as Shagnon works up the racetrack off of turn number 4. Branham finds running room going to turns 1 and 2, and he's going to drive right on past on the outside. Bucko Branham in car number 20 has the lead down the backstretch going into turn number 3. Shagnon runs 2nd. Brandon Atkins in the 4 thinks about going to that top line to try to take the 2nd spot away as we're halfway in the qualifier. Branham leads. Shagnon runs 2nd. Brandon Atkins is 3rd. Keith Pelkey is 4th. Jamie Atkins is 5th. 6th is Stephen Brissett. 7th is Dave Raptoy in the 21. 8th is Jimmy Bushy in car number 11. And then it's Cody Aubin in the 7 car. The battle for the 2nd spot, Mike Shagnon in the 86 hanging on to the 2nd position. Brandon Atkins in the 4 car. I think wants to get to the top of the racetrack but can't do it. He's going to have to make the pass on the inside. Has the 2nd spot in the middle of the backstretch, but now the 86 comes back after him on the outside line. Now Atkins drives it hard into 3 and 4, and he'll make the pass and grab that 2nd spot. Now he can go up to the top of the racetrack and run whatever line he chooses. So it's Bucko Branham at car number 20 showing the way. The 4 Brandon Atkins running in the 2nd spot. Mike Shagnon's number 86 is running in 3rd. 4th is Keith Pelkey. 5th is Jamie Atkins. 6th is Stephen Brissett. 7th is Dave Raptoy in the 21. 2 laps to go for Bucko Branham. He's got a big advantage, half the front stretch over car 4 and Brandon Atkins. Then it's the 86 of Mike Shagnon running in 3rd. Keith Pelkey's 24 is 4th. 5th is Stephen Brissett in the 59. Feel pretty strung out around the racetrack. Not a lot of side-by-side racing in this qualifier. You have to go back to the 7th position where Dave Raptoy is feeling a little heat from Jimmy Bushy for the 7th spot. Raptoy in the 21 and Jimmy Bushy in car number 11. Well, he made pretty quick work of this qualifier as he started dead last, and he had picked up 5 spots in a lap and a half. Bucko Branham's going to win it. Finishing in the 2nd spot, Brandon Atkins. 3rd, Mike Shagnon. 4th, Keith Pelkey. 5th, Stephen Brissett. 6th, Jamie Atkins. 7th, Dave Raptoy. 8th, Jimmy Bushy. And 9th is Cody Aubin in the 7th.
First qualifier for the Bush Bombers. Picks it up off turn 4. 3 wide to the start finish. Sherman on the inside, sideways, but manages to hang on to it. As the 74 of Jeff St. John leads them up the backstretch. Sherman moves into the number 2 spot. John Michael Brissett started 6th. He's up on the outside. He is now 3rd. Bill Joyle runs in the 4th spot at the 58. Josh Dervage is 88, looking for a way by. He looks to the bottom of the racetrack now as they head up the backstretch. Top 6 cars run single file as they all try and run down the 74 of Jeff St. John. He is your leader. Travis Sherman. Alongside is the 14 of JMB. John Michael Brissett trying to take that 2nd spot away. But right now it's Sherman in the 21 hanging on to it. Again, Brissett moves up on the outside, but Sherman will keep that number 2 spot as they reach the halfway point. Josh Duravage in the 88 has taken the 4th spot away from Bill Joyle. The 7 of Brian Montroy runs in the 6th spot. Then it's the Walt Parrott 24. And Matt Monahan running 8th can see them all. 2 to go this time by. Jeff St. John is your leader. But that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place battle starts to close in just a bit on the top car. Outside, Brissett moves to the number 2 spot. Will he bring Josh Duravage with him to take 3rd? Sherman says not yet. Travis Sherman trying to battle back on the inside and hold on to his 3rd spot with 1 lap to go. Jeff St. John trying to lead from go to woe. Leads him up the back stretch the final time. John Michael Brissett trying to close in, but right now it looks as though he may have to settle for 2nd unless St. John makes a mistake. He looks to the inside as they come off turn 4. Not going to be enough. St. John wins it. Brissett finishes 2nd. The 88 of Josh Duravage 3rd. 4th to Travis Sherman. And the 5th spot will be rounded out by Bill Joyle Sr. Final qualifier, picks it up off 4. Keep your eye on Chief Starter Butch Hendry. We are under green. Outside, Signs grabs the lead into 1. Fountain tries to battle back, gets a little bit sideways, hangs onto it. Another nice save by Tyler Brissett in the 8 as that car got a little bit loose. Sneaky Dale moves up on the outside to take that number 2 spot. Fountain coming right back, all in chase of the leader, Rob Signs. Signs leads lap number 1. O'Neill is 2nd. Fountain is 3rd. Germain runs in the number 4 spot. Tyler Brissett is 5th. Curtis LeGrave is up to the number 6 spot. Here comes Corcoran on the inside to take 7th. And Jason Branham's 13 runs in the number 8 spot. Branham trying to come back on the inside of Corcoran. He'll go to 7th. Nobody wants to have the best view in this Bomber division. There's a good view up front for Sneaky Dale. He's got the lead. Rob Signs drifted high in car number 3. That opened up the door on the inside. And Sneaky Dale O'Neill go right on through. O'Neill, your leader at the halfway point. Ray Germain in the 19 up to the number 2 spot. Signs is back to 3rd. Joe Fountain is 4th. Good battle for 5th. Tyler Brissett in the 8. Curtis LeGrave Jr. in the 72. Top 2 cars have 4 lengths on the 3rd place battle. The 72 of LeGrave gets high, and he makes a nice save. 2 to go. And Ray Germain find a way by Sneaky Dale O'Neill in that 16 car. They head up the backstretch. It's a car length and a half advantage for O'Neill. Germain closes it in the corner, drifts a little bit high. O'Neill maintains his position at the bottom of the racetrack as they get the white flag. 1 to go. O'Neill leads the way. Germain still looking for a way through as they head up the backstretch the final time. 3-car battle for the number 3 spot as well between Signs, Brissett, and Fountain. Here comes Germain looking for room on the inside. They come off turn 4. Down the stretch they come. Sneaky Dale is your winner. Ray Germain gets 2nd, 3rd spot to Rob Signs. Tyler Brissett finishes 4th. And the 77 of Joe Fountain rounds out the top 5.
Lonnie Rivers, Andrew Bordeaux, here they come down the front stretch, green flag. We've had 7 different winners in this division. Will there be an 8th different winner tonight? Or perhaps someone picking up a repeat victory? Josh Allen's in trouble. The 10 car off into the bunker, running down the backstretch. Now limping along the top of turns 3 and 4. That number 10 car well off the pace, trying to get it back out on the racetrack. Josh started on the outside of row number 2, so he started 4th. That car just doesn't want to turn for him. He is going to take it into the infield, and that is going to bring out a yellow flag. 1 lap complete. Andrew Bordeaux and Lonnie Rivers. They flip-flop spots for this restart. Here they come off of turn number 4 along the front stretch. Green flag. They'll race off into 1 and 2. Bordeaux now on the inside. Rivers on the outside. Bordeaux's going to pull away off turn number 2. He's your leader down the backstretch going to the third turn. Then it's Rivers in car number 7 settling down to the second spot. Running side by side for the third position, Kurt Seymour, the 357, the 86 of Rick Donor. It's Donor at the line in third. Seymour, the 357, runs fourth. Rob Gordon looking to roll with the H2O. He is in the fifth position, working on the outside. Then it's the Big Daddy Don Franklin in car 69, working in the sixth spot. And it's a gap back, about a car length back to car 43, Josh Terry, who's also running on the outside of the racetrack. The extra laps, of course, these drivers are going to have to try to perhaps conserve those tires a little bit. Make their car have something when they want to draw down the stretch in this race, and when they really need to go to the whip, they want to still have something underneath them that they can call on. Tight racing for spots 2, 3, right on back in the top 10. Rivers in the 7, the 86 of Rick Donor, they were leaning on each other along the front stretch as Donor tries to work that top line. It's almost a 3-car battle for the lead. Andrew Bordeaux's lead is a car length, make it 2 as they stretch out down the backstretch going to the third turn. It's Rivers on the inside and Donor on the outside as they continue to lean on each other. They're a little squirrely and sideways off turn number 4, still banging on each other along the front stretch. The 10 of Allen again going back to the garage area. The outside line really boxed up behind Don Franklin, and that cost the 43. Oh, there goes the 86 of Donor around. Lonnie Rivers and Rick Donor were racing for that second spot. And the 86 of Donor ends up in the infield. So there's 5 laps complete, 45 remain. Andrew Bordeaux in the 08, Robert Gordon in the H2O. They get back after it off turn number 4. Green flag, back out. Bordeaux in the 08, hold serve off turn number 2. The H2O of Gordon trying to get to his door, going to turn number 3. Side-by-side racing through the field, at least in the first 10 spots, as there's a lot of laps to run, and Robert Gordon works that outside line. He was about 3 feet behind the 08 of Bordeaux at the stripe, but now he draws even off of turn number 2, sticks the nose in the lead, going to the third turn. They're dead even, going to turn number 4. Side-by-side racing for the top spot. Bordeaux in the 08, the H2O of Gordon. Robert Gordon's got the lead. Don Franklin looks to the outside of Andrew Bordeaux as well. He's running in that third spot. Curtis Seymour is 4th. Josh Terry is running in the 5th position in car number 43. Rob Favreau right off the back bumper of the 357. As there's a bunch of good cars that are running just outside the top 3 trying to get towards the front. It's the top line that is working for these cars tonight. Robert Gordon running a high line, now diving down into 1 and 2. He'll go to the top of the racetrack over in turn number 2. That's a similar line that they worked off of turn number 4. Here comes Josh Terry around the 357, the 22 to the inside. 3 wide going to turn number 3. The 357 to Seymour somehow slides back through the middle as they part him left and right. H2O of Robert Gordon. Then the 08 of Andrew Bordeaux, the 69 of Don Franklin, Josh Terry on the outside holding that 4th spot. But the 22 of Rob Favreau putting up a good fight on the inside. The H2O is pulled away to a couple of car lengths, but not much more than that from the 08 of Andrew Bordeaux. Some of the other top point guys in this division are trying to work their way towards the front. You've got Gordon leading by 2. Then it's Bordeaux in the 08. Don Franklin running in 3rd. Side-by-side racing for 4th continues between the 22 and the 43. The 43 has the 4th spot now, but that 22 surging on the inside. At the line, it's still Josh Terry in car number 43 in the 4th position. Terry trying to get to the outside of Don Franklin's number 69 and perhaps take away the 3rd spot. Josh Terry in the 43, Rob Favreau in the 22, Kevin Booton in the 25, and Lance Raptoy in car number 11. They run side-by-side around the racetrack as well, and right behind them is Joe Warren. So you've got some of the top point guys already inside the top 8 positions on the track. Warren is the 3rd place point man in the number 13, and he is in the 8th position. The leader is Robert Gordon. Andrew Bordeaux continues to run 2nd. Don Franklin now to the inside of the Bordeaux 08, trying to take that 2nd spot away. It backs up behind those 2 cars as they continue to run side-by-side around the racetrack. No place for the 22 of Favreau to go. No place for the 43 of Josh Terry to go. And the same can be said for the 25 and the 11. 13 laps complete. Number 14 about to go up on the board as the 69 pushes up the track, taking that outside line. That's the line that he wants to work. So the inside line is about to move. The 08 of Andrew Bordeaux sliding back a little bit. That's boxed the 43 in the 11 car. Now the 43 of Josh Terry wants to get down to the inside. Meanwhile, Kevin Booten, who was on the inside, is going to 4th. And now here comes Terry in the 43 going to the 5th spot. The 08 is slowing. And that boxed up that outside line. Bordeaux, who ran very strong the first 13 laps of this one, fading now as the 11 and 13 both move underneath him. As the 11 of Lance Raptoy and the 13 of Joe Warren are racing for position. They're racing for the 6th spot. The leader is Robert Gordon. His lead is 4 car lengths over the 69 of Don Franklin. 3rd is Rob Favreau in car number 22. 4th is the 25 of Kevin Booten. 5th is Josh Terry in the 43. 6th is Lance Raptoy. 7th in car number 13 is Joe Warren. 8th is Andrew Bordeaux. 9th is Rick Donor. Good recovery from Donor. He goes from the back of the pack to 9th. In 10th, it's car 70 for Jason McClatchy. 11th is Curtis Seymour. 12th is Dave Drake. 13th is Lonnie Rivers. Running in 14th is the 5 of Mark Karen. 15th is the 61 of Dan Dubuque. And Franklin is off on the backstretch. Don Franklin in car number 69 went off in turn number 2, goes through the bunker, and he gets the car rolling again, but he has lost a ton of track position. He's now half a track behind the leaders. Don Franklin in the number 69. Gordon showing the way with the H2O. Rob Favreau runs 2nd in car 22 now. And he seems to be closing in on that H2O of Robert Gordon. It's been feast or famine this season for Robert Gordon with the H2O. As we mentioned, 6-time winner for Rob Gordon. But there's been at least 3 times this year where he has had mechanical trouble in the feature event and really had poor performances. You would think with 6 wins, he'd probably be atop the points. But it's either been a home run or a strikeout for this H2O car this season. He is leading, but the lead is shrinking. It's a 2-car length advantage for Robert Gordon over the 22 of Rob Favreau. 3rd is the 25 of Kevin Booten. Here comes Lance Raptoy to the outside of Josh Terry's 43. Side-by-side racing for the 4th spot. Terry in car 43, Lance Raptoy in car number 11. Almost a dead heat for the 4th position. The leaders are working on the back of the pack now. Off turn number 2, they'll be running upon the 51 of Freeman Sawyer and the 17 of James Sayward and the 36 of Bob Dragoon. As Robert Gordon runs past the 51 off of turn number 4, and they're side by side for 2nd. Kevin Booten working down on the inside. Rob Favreau works the middle line with that number 22 car. Booten has 2nd off of turn number 2. He's close to within 2 car lengths. Now again, they'll run 3 wide around the slower cars in turns 3 and 4. Lance Raptoy in car number 11 is also getting into the mix. He is 4th and closing quickly. Josh Terry in car number 43 runs in the 5th spot. Kevin Booten in the 25 trying to finish that pass of the 22 of Rob Favreau. He will do it off the 2nd turn. Booten is 2nd. Favreau back to 3rd. 4th is Lance Raptoy. 5th is Josh Terry in the 43. Booten is closing quickly. Gordon continues to work the top of the racetrack. Booten sees that inside line. He's got a hold of the inside. He's going to try to take the lead away. Here comes Kevin Booten drawing even into turn number 2. Sticks the nose to the lead, going down the backstretch to 3. Booten on the inside is your leader. Here comes Gordon back after him on the outside. Kevin Booten coming through. The point leader, defending track champion, will be your leader. Halfway, the normal distance for the Renegades. They just ran it. And Kevin Booten, had it been a normal distance race, would have had a dramatic last lap pass off of turn number 4 for the win. But it's 25 extra laps tonight for the Renegades. We'll see how these cars handle down the final 25 laps. But Kevin Booten is starting to pull away, or trying to pull away, from the H2O of Gordon. The lead is a car length to turn 2. Gordon continues to run 2nd. 3rd is Rob Favreau. 4th is the 11 of Lance Raptoy. 5th is car number 43 of Josh Terry. They'll work around some slower cars. The 2 of Metal Man, the 02 of Jimmy Collins. Booten's advantage is growing along the front stretch. Rob Favreau running 3rd, closing quickly off turn number 2. Lance Raptoy had a real good jump off of turn number 2. He's pulling onto the back bumper of the 22 car as he works an inside line, while the 22 of Favreau works towards the top of the wall off turn number 4 and along the front stretch. Lance Raptoy running strong with the 11 car, trying to get the show spot, looks inside car number 22. The battle for 3rd will be on. Just behind them is car number 43 for Josh Terry. Your leader has a clear track in front of him all the way to turns 1 and 2. That's Kevin Booten in car number 25. Booten turning a lap time just under 20 seconds. He's about a tenth of a second faster than the H2O that last lap. The battle for third still going on between the 11 of Lance Raptoy and the 22 of Rob Favreau. They touch into turn number 4. Raptoy back down to the inside. The 22 of Favreau still working on the outside. This battle for third is allowing the 43 of Josh Terry to close in on that mix. Kevin Booten in car number 25 pulling away as we've had an extended green flag run with 31 laps now up on the board. 19 laps remain for Kevin Booten in the number 25. Rob Gordon in the H2O runs in that second spot. Third, Lance Raptoy in car number 11. The 43 of Josh Terry in the fourth position. Fifth is Rob Favreau in car number 22. Sixth is Joe Warren in the 13th. Seventh is Rick Donor closing in that number 86 car. Eighth is Jason McClatchy in the 70. Ninth is Andrew Bordeaux in the 08. Running in the 10th spot, Curtis Seymour in the 357. 11th in car number 7 is Lonnie Rivers. Running in 12th is Dave Drake. 13th is Don Franklin. 14th is Mark Karen in the number 5. And 15th, I believe, would be Dan Dubuque in the number 61. Dubuque would be the last car in the lead lap in the 15th position with that number 61 car. So 15 cars on the lead lap. 22 cars took the green flag. We've got a couple that are back in the garage area. The 17 of Sayward just headed back that way. Larry Underwood, 73, also back in the garage. Kevin Booten's lead is now half the front stretch. He has built up a sizable advantage, which is a pretty rare event in this division for someone to be leading by the advantage that Kevin Booten has right now with that number 25. Although the way things often play out in this division, we'll have perhaps a yellow flag. The 69 and the 3 get together over in turn number 2, and that is going to bring out a yellow flag. 34 complete, 16 remain. Kevin Booten on the inside, Robert Gordon on the outside. We've seen this before. Can Robert Gordon run with him on the outside? Green flag. Oh, we got cars spinning at the back. Yellow flag is out. All right, Booten, Gordon on the hammer. Here they come into turn number 4, working along the front stretch now. There's the green flag. Robert Gordon trying to stick on the outside, pushes up the track in turn number 2. Kevin Booten gains some separation. The battle now for third. Lance Raptoy in car number 11. Josh Terry in car number 43. Raptoy sees room down to the inside. He'd like to follow through that inside line and challenge the H2O for second. But right now he's got his hands full with Josh Terry in car 43. Terry's been on the outside line for much of this race. 35 laps now complete, 15 remain. How will these cars continue to handle down the stretch? The H2O works the second spot, coming down towards the inside now, pushing back up the racetrack. As he hangs on to second, does Robert Gordon. And third at the line, it was Josh Terry in the number 43. Lance Raptoy in car number 11 running in fourth. Right behind him it is Rob Favreau in the 22. Joe Warren and Rick Donor in the 13. It's Warren, the 86, Rick Donor. They battled last week for the win. Now they're battling for sixth with each other. It's the 86 of Donor on the inside, the 13 of Warren on the outside, and Rick Donor has traveled all the way back to the 6th spot. Remember, he was sent early in the race, spinning into the infield. He has come from the rear of the field now into the 6th spot. So a good rally by Rick Donor, who continues to get better and better week in and week out in the Renegade division with that Gordon Oil number 86. The leader, Kevin Booten, checking out again. Lap number 38 just went up on the scoreboard. 12 laps remain, and his lead is 10 car lengths down the backstretch going to 3. He is pulling away from Robert Gordon. Josh Terry has rallied to third with the number 43. Running in the 4th spot is car number 11, Lance Raptoy. Terry eyeing an inside line, going into turn number 1, trying to get onto the back bumper of the H2O of Robert Gordon and then maybe make a move for that second spot. Gordon got the right side, at least the right rear tire, off towards the bunker that time in the middle backstretch. The 43 moving to the inside, trying to take second away with 10 laps to go. Josh Terry in the 43. Robert Gordon with the H2O, battling for second. Gordon on the outside. Gets the nose back out to that second spot. Terry comes after him on the inside. Going to turn number 4, Josh Terry has second. Racing down the front stretch to the line, it's Robert Gordon still in second. Kevin Booten continues to check out, especially with them battling right behind him for the second position. Terry in the 43, Gordon in the H2O. Terry's got the second spot going into turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he can finish the pass this time by. Off of turn number 4, Robert Gordon again gets a good run, but it is Josh Terry in the second spot. Robert Gordon back to third, Lance Raptoy running in fourth. Fifth it is Rob Favreau, sixth is Rick Donor, seventh is the 13 of Joe Warren, eighth is Lonnie Rivers, and boy was he just sideways off of turn number 2. He's in the 8th spot. 9th is Andrew Bordeaux. 10th is Don Franklin. 11th is the 357 of Kurt Seymour. 12th is the 5 of Mark Karen. 13th is Dave Drake. 14th, and the final car in the lead lap is the 61 of Dan Dubuque. Josh Terry in car number 43. Running second on the inside. Robert Gordon coming back after him on the outside. These two now have been running that way side by side for the better part of the last 3 or 4 laps, and at the line that time it looked like Gordon was back in second. Side by side racing for that second position. Kevin Booten checking out. His lead is half the backstretch. The battle continues for the second spot with a 43 trying to come through this time. He'll have that second spot as the H2O push badly up the track in turn number 4. 2 slower cars that are running side by side right in front of the leader. Over in turn number 2 that last lap, the 43 of Terry was really smoking the right rear, and that allowed Gordon to get right back after him for the second spot. Side by side in front of the leaders. Kevin Booten will follow Freeman Sawyer around the outside. Now dive down to the inside to get position on those 2 runners. Sawyer with some smoke coming out of the back of that 51 car. They race off of turn number 2, 3 wide underneath the slower car. That battle for second is still on. The 43 and the H2O. Let's see if the H2O can snooker the 43 behind the slower car. The 43, that car's going away. He's fighting the handle with that number 43 car as he came off of turn number 4, and he was headed towards the infield, then headed towards the wall, and he wrestled it to make a good save. The H2O of Robert Gordon running in second. Here comes your leader off of turn number 4. Kevin Booten's killing him. He's got 2 laps to go. Kevin Booten is going to extend his point lead, and he is on his way to win number 3. A lap and a half remains for the Fairfax, Vermont driver. Here he comes off of turn number 4, down along the front stretch. He races to the white flag. Robert Gordon running in the second spot. Josh Terry is third. Let's follow your leader. It's the final lap. He's in the middle of the backstretch. Clear track in front of him. I don't think the 2 is going to factor in. He doesn't have to push the pace. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Your winner, Kevin Booten in the number 25. Finishing in second, Robert Gordon. Third, Josh Terry. Fourth, Lance Raptoy. Fifth, Rob Favreau. Sixth, Rick Donor. Seventh to Joe Warren as there's a bunch of fluid over in 1 and 2. Robert Gordon goes for a ride. That came out of the 51 of Freeman Sawyer, but it's win number 3 on the season for Fairfax, Vermont's Kevin Booten.
Downstairs to you, Dad.
All right, thanks, Rye. It's top 3 down here in Victory Lane. Josh Terry, another good run to third. Rob Gordon finishes in the second spot with the H2O. And defending track champion picks up his 3rd win of the season. He'll also increase his point lead. Fairfax, Vermont's Kevin Booten with the number 25 unbuckling. Got his helmet off. He's about to climb out, and I know you'll give him a big round of applause as he wins the longest distance event of the year. Here he is, everybody. Kevin Booten from Fairfax, Vermont. Nice job, Kev. As we watched a lot of other cars try to work on the top of the racetrack, we saw their cars fading. Your car was hooked, especially on the inside. That's where you picked them off one by one.
Yeah, the car was really good on both the inside and the outside. I just took which lane I thought was moving, and it seemed to have paid off. The car was great. I have to thank my crew. They work hard on the car, and my wife obviously putting up with me long hours in the garage. I really appreciate it.
Are you getting a lot of sleep? You just had a new baby as well not long ago.
No, not a whole lot.
Well, again, tonight, your car was really running strong. Did you have to go forward with any type of different strategy, knowing that the race was twice as long tonight as what you typically run? And by the way, had it been 25 laps, you still would have won because you made the pass for the win on lap 25 over in turn 4.
The only change we made, we put brand new tires on for the evening and made sure it was really full of gas, so we did our best.
Well, your best is back here in Victory Lane. It's your 3rd win of the year. You'll increase the point lead as well. You got a great year going for you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Yipe Stripes, Quality Cuts Custom Sawing, Champlain Transmission, Direct Auto Body, friends and family that helped me out. I appreciate it all.
All right, that's Kevin Booten, everybody, as he wins for the third time this season. Robert Gordon finishes in the second spot. Another good run for Josh Terry as he finishes in third. 30 laps on deck. Here they come into turn number 4. Along the front stretch, off the fourth turn, green flag. They're on the hammer, running into 1 and 2. Trim has the lead. Here comes Vernold, gets a piece of the back. Now backs off of it, off of turn number 2. Look at Max Vienne go to the outside. Man, oh, look out! Vernold goes flying off the top towards the billboards, takes Max Vienne with him, and we've got an early yellow flag. Green flag back out. Brian Trim in the 28 leads the field off to turn number 2. Roger Lebrecht in the numero son runs in the second spot. Right onto the back bumper. Here comes Atkins on the 1. Keep an eye on Patrick Dupree, who is flying on the outside, but right behind him is Martin Adouin, the Gamache Truck Center number 90. They go right up to the wall, does Brian Trim along the front stretch. Lebrecht in the number 100 about to lose the second spot. Pat McGrail boxes it up, so does Vince Quinville. Look at that 24 roll. The 24 of Patrick Dupree is on the move. He's right behind the 78 as they race at full speed off of turn number 4. Challenge for the lead. Here comes Greg Atkins to the point. Atkins looking down to the inside. Brian Trim in the 28 on the top of the racetrack. There goes Atkins to the lead. Roger Lebrecht down on the inside as well. The 78 of Vince Quinville trying to propel the 28 down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Patrick Dupree wants to go 3 wide. Oh, they mixed it up! They're into the wall! Dupree gets a part of the fence. The 10 of McGrail's into it. Yellow flag along the front stretch. Two down, 28 remain. Bryant Trim on the inside, Greg Atkins on the outside. Here they come off of turn number 4 along the front stretch. Green flag. Could be a little greasy up in a 1 and 2. Everybody seems to make their way through fine. There goes Atkins out of a cannon off the top of turn number 2. He'll take the lead away from Bryant Trim. Leon Gagnon works that top line down on the inside. Pierre Bertillon has gone to the top. Martin Wan's down on the inside with the number 90. He's going to try to follow Rocher Lebrecht on the 100. It depends on where Bryant Trim goes with the 28. If he stays up there, it could snooker Leon Gagnon. Here comes the 100 of Lebrecht. Trim working on the top of the track. Lebrecht in the 100 coming through on the inside. That's going to open up a lot of room for Martin Wan, the 90. Bryant Trim in car number 28 continues to work a higher line. That's playing right into the hands of Martin Wan. The inside line trying to move through. The guy who got snookered was Pierre Bertillon, who went to the top of the track. He's following Bryant Trim, and he's going nowhere but backwards, following that 28 machine. The leader, Greg Atkins, the 100 of Roger Lebrecht running in the second spot. Third is Martin Adouin. Running in fourth is Leon Gagnon. Fifth, Richard Tisser. Sixth is Bryant Trim. Here comes George Foley coming through. He'll take sixth away as Trim in the 28 still has Bertillon box. Now Bertillon gets down to the inside. Lebrecht challenging just off the back of the 1 for the lead. Still very early in this race. Just 6 laps complete as the field starts to shuffle through, and hopefully we get a longer run. Jim Introne in the number 9, limping around the racetrack, trying to get back to the exit ramp. We'll do that. We'll stay under green. Atkins leads. Lebrecht in the 100 runs right behind. Martin Watt taking it easy right now with the number 90. He knows he's got a lot of time, and he's going to run patiently in third for now. Atkins in the 1 continues to work that outside line. He's giving the inside to the 100 of Lebrecht, but now Martin Watt thinks about making it go time. 3 cars battling for the lead. Lebrecht, 3 wide. Look at Martin Watt go to the top. Atkins holding him off for now. It's Lebrecht on the inside racing for the lead. Atkins still hanging on at the line. Martin Watt's going back to the top. We've got a yellow flag out on the top of turn number 4. It's Craig Riel in the CO2.
So it's a bad deal for everybody. All right, frustrating night for Pat. Back to you guys.
All right, the green flag back out. Greg Atkins in the number 1 leading the way off turn number 2. Roger Lebrecht in the number 100 holding second now as they were 3 wide temporarily in the backstretch. Andy Hayward in the 80 backed out of it with Jimmy Ryan on the outside. Here comes Martin Watt through on the inside. He'll grab second. Watt goes to the second spot. Lebrecht back to third. Richard Tesser in the number 49 running in the 4th position. Leon Gagnon runs 5th. George Foley also starting to move with that 34. He's down on the inside. Here comes Tesseur looking inside. Roger Labreche for third. Running wheel to wheel for the third spot. There's 4 cars trying to battle for that third position. Tesseur goes to the third spot. George Foley goes to fourth. Here comes Leon Gagnon to the top 5. Martinois sizing up Greg Atkins. Lap number 12 going up on the board. Atkins shows the way. Martinois goes to the top of the racetrack. How long can Atkins hold him off? For now, at least, down the backstretch, 3 and 4. Here comes Roy trying to make the pass for the lead. Going to turn number 4 on the outside. The 90 can't get by the 1, not yet. Atkins hanging on to the lead. Martinois again runs right with him. Works the top of the track, smokes the right rear tire. Atkins holding him off. Richard Tesseur is starting to close in with the number 49. Atkins holding serve for now. Now Martinois looking down to the inside. Atkins will take that line away. Martinois goes back to the top of the racetrack. After looking inside, he's gone outside. Now back down inside off turn number 2. Atkins again trying to protect that outside line. He'll chop down to the inside, trying to hold the lead going to turn number 4. Greg Atkins holding off Martinois. Halfway. Closing in, George Foley and Richard Tesseur. Again, Roy will diamond the turn, look down to the inside, close onto the back bumper, going to turn number 3. Atkins holds him off, going to turn 4. Here comes Martinois down on the inside, looking for the lead. Atkins trying to hang on. He's still the race leader. Martinois going to the top again. George Foley's in the mix. Here comes Foley, right to the inside of Martinois over in turn number 2. George Foley trying to take second away from Martinois. 3-car battle for the lead. Foley's onto the back bumper of Atkins. Now down on the inside off turn number 4. It's still Greg Atkins leading. Running wheel to wheel, it's Foley and Martinois. Roy back to the top of the racetrack. Foley on the inside. Roy bobbles. Foley goes to the second spot. Martinois back to third. Atkins leading. Foley second. Martinois back to the top of the track. 3 wide for the lead off turn number 4. Here comes Atkins still holding on the lead. 18 laps complete. 12 remain. Atkins holds serve for now. The 34 of Foley goes back to the top of 2. Fading back a little bit. Martinois on the 90 perhaps trying to preserve tires and make another run at it a little bit later on. Here comes Atkins in the 1, still leading at the line by a foot. George Foley in the number 34 takes the Shamrock Bar and Grill, flying off the top of turn number 2. He'll take the lead away in the backstretch. George Foley takes the lead away from Greg Atkins. Atkins runs in the second spot. Third now is Martinois. Running in fourth is Richard Tesseur. Fifth is Leon Gagnon. Sixth is Roger Labreche. Running in seventh is Pierre Bertillon. Eighth is the B3 of Aaron Bartamy. Ninth is Vince Quinville. 10th is Adam Bartamy. 11th is Jim Ryan. 12th, Andy Haywood. 13th, Mike Finney. 14th, Chris K.A. 15th is Mike Riel. George Foley is checking out on the 1 of Greg Atkins. Atkins in that second spot, still feeling pressure from the 90 of Martinois. George Foley's lead is 6 car lengths. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Lap number 22 goes up on the board. We've got a problem over in the 4th turn. It's the 4 of Leon Gagnon. He's lost the right front tire. Richard Tesseur's number 49 was also involved. He's backing down the front stretch. A stream of sparks coming out of the 4 car as he limps back to the garage. 9 laps remain. Anybody with something for George Foley? I don't think so. Let's see. Green flag. Well, Atkins did a great job on that restart. He was right with Foley on the hammer, hit at the same time. The X of Adam Bartamy off the pace. He goes to the top of turn number 2, losing positions. Meanwhile, here comes Martinois. Martin back to the top of the racetrack, trying to take second away from Greg Atkins, and he's got it at the line. George Foley leading. Martinois into the second spot. Does he have anything for Foley? He'd better put the cards on the table right now. Atkins is running third. Let's see if Martin starts to close in on the leader. Martinois has just turned the fastest lap of his race, and he is indeed closing in on George Foley. Martinois may still have some cards to play in this one. He is close to a car length on Foley, who leads along the front stretch by a car length and a half. Martinois closing, working that third line around the racetrack. They're both pulling away from Greg Atkins, who runs third. It's a car length going into 3 and 4. 5 laps remaining, this time by for George Foley. Foley looking for his third victory. The 90 of Martinois is looking for his 4th straight and his 5th on the season. He's fallen to 2 car lengths back now again, pulling towards the back bumper. Here they come, the leaders off of turn number 4. Foley has a comfortable lead of 2.5 car lengths. And Foley's lap time was just a tick quicker that lap as he is pulling away again from Martinois. So Foley saw his lead dissipate. Martinois was cutting into it, but now the lead is extending. Does Martinois have one last shot at him? George Foley pulling away to a 4-car length advantage. Martin, I don't think, has any other card to play. 2 laps to go for George Foley. Foley in the 34 increases the lead. Martinois drives it in deep to 3 and 4, trying to cut into the disadvantage, but George Foley is setting sail. He is on his way to his 3rd victory of the year. Final time for George Foley around the racetrack. He works into turn number 3. George Foley takes the Shamrock Barn Grill. Pulsar's logging 34 along the front stretch. He's going to win it. 2nd to Martinois, 3rd to Greg Atkins, 4th to Rocher Labreche, his best career finish. Pierre Bertillon 5th, 6th Aaron Barnaby, 7th Vince Quinville, 8th Jimmy Ryan, 9th to Andy Haywood, 10th to Mike Finney, 11th Chris Gaye, 12th Max Vienne, 13th to Mike Riel, 14th to Craig Riel. And that's how they'll finish tonight. It's George Foley's race, everybody, as he wins for the 3rd time this season on board the Shamrock Barn Grill number 34.
Rob has made his way trackside. Let's go downstairs. Rob, take it away.
All right, thanks, Rick. A fine run tonight for Greg Atkins to 3rd place. Martin finishes in the 2nd position tonight. Unbuckling in his race car, George Foley getting win number 3 on the season with a Shamrock Barn Grill Pulsar's logging number 34. And potentially with the win, it could move him into the 2nd place point position with a bad point night for Pat. All right, Georgie's climbing out now. Give him a nice round of applause, everybody. George Foley gets win number 3. All right, here is George Foley. The first question I'm going to ask you is about the incident that claimed both Pat McGrail and Pat Dupree. From your vantage point, what did you see of that?
I really didn't. I ended up getting stuck back behind the car, and I had just moved to the top and was trying to move up, and all of a sudden there was a mess, so I just kind of slowed down, and it was a mess. I feel bad for both of them, but it had nothing to do with me, thank God.
What was the escape route for you down to the inside of the racetrack?
Yeah, I ended up behind the 78, and we both just kind of slowed up, and when he went, I went, and didn't stop, so we didn't have to go to the back, so that's good.
Tell me about the 3-car battle for the lead that eventually got you to the first spot. Greg Atkins, Martinois. You had to pick off Martin over in turn number 2. It looked like he bobbled there, and then you went to the top of the track to get Greg.
Yeah, not lap traffic, but sometimes when you're trying to pass, it causes all kinds of havoc for you, and it's unfortunate for him, but he left an opening, so we hopefully and luckily got in it, so we'll take it.
And then down the stretch, I was watching the lap times. It looked like on the restart initially, Martin closed a little bit, but then as the green flag run started to go, your car came to life and you pulled away.
Well, I really figured he was on me and catching me because I picked up a terrible push, and I was actually slowing way down in the corners, and I was kind of waiting to see him come out next to me, and I'm just glad he didn't.
Well, you earned this one tonight. Win number 3 for you.
Thank you.
All right, that's George Foley. Everybody give him a nice round of applause. He gets his 3rd victory.
Mini modified start to pick it up. Headed for the green flag. We are underway. Right about now, Chief Starter Butch Hendry is the happiest he's ever been in his life. Eric Riel in the 0-2 leads the pack up the backstretch.
Watch the race, Butch. Watch the race now.
Good battle for positions 2 and 3. They're side by side. And it's Bradley who gets that 2nd spot away from Archer. All in hopes of running down the leader. Eric Riel in the 0-2 car. 3 wide action in 3 spots headed up the backstretch. John Bradley has moved that 69 into the number 2 spot. Archer is second. But he's got a challenge coming now on the inside from Richner, on the outside from Speedy Brissett. Speedy looks to the outside of the Archer 23, moves up, takes the 3rd spot. Is there room on the inside for Richner? No. Archer shuts the door on the bottom of the racetrack. Chris Clark moving up quickly on the outside in the 77 car. He will take the 4th spot away from Archer. The 23 back to 5th. Richner has now moved to the outside in the 21 car, and again he gets snookered behind the 23 as Archer drifted up high. That opened up the door on the inside for Josh Leclerc to come by and take that 5th spot. Eric Sales is going to come right with him and take 6th. Richner now back to the bottom of the racetrack, runs 7th. Archer on the outside is 8th. Josh Laporte is 9th. 10th is Jimmy Varno in the 07 as we've got a change for the lead. John Bradley in the 69 has taken the top spot. The battle for second, Speedy Brissett in the 03, outside Eric Riel in the 02. Speedy's got second. Chris Clark inside now. Wants to take that 3rd spot away from Riel. And Clark will go to the 3rd spot, but not without a fight. Riel trying to come back on the outside. Doesn't have enough car. That's going to be the 77 of Chris Clark to take 3rd. Riel back to 4th, the battle for the 5th spot. That's the 7 of Josh Leclerc and the Eric Sales 47. Up front, John Bradley continues to lead the way in the 69, and he will lead them to the halfway point. Speedy remains a couple of car lengths behind. Riel has done a good job coming back on Chris Clark, and sticking right there on the inside. Clark 77 has the bottom of the racetrack. Riel outside in that 02, and Eric Sales looking for a way by. As these top 2 cars have pulled away from what was that 3rd place battle between Chris Clark and the 02 of Eric Riel. Sales now has that 4th spot on the inside as Riel has dropped back to 5th. The 7 of Josh Leclerc is 6th, but he looks to move up a spot as he's gotten to the inside of the 02. It's still the John Bradley Speedy Brissett show up front. The 69 leads it, the 03 just a car length and a half behind. They've got 8 car lengths in the 77 of Clark and the 47 of Sales. Leclerc now on the inside has moved through and taken that 5th spot, dropping Riel back to 6th. Josh Laporte runs 7th. Matt Brusso in the 26 car runs in the 8th spot as he's taken that away from Scott Richner, who is 9th. Larry Archer runs 10th in the 23, followed by the 13 of Josh Lavardway. The King, Jamie LaFountain, runs 11th. Malcolm Woodward is 12th. Tim LaFountain runs in the 13th spot. Rico Hernandez is 14th. John Musson is 15th. 16th belongs to the 01 of Eric Tatro. He indeed has the best view.
Red Sox rain delay. Top of the 5th. 3-0. They stopped the game.
John Bradley leads the way. He completes lap number 12. 3 laps to go. Speedy Brissett looking for a way by. It would be win number 2 in back-to-back weeks for Brissett if he can pull it off. If not, it'll be a 2nd place finish, which will help him increase his points lead on Eric Sales. 2 to go. Bradley has done a nice job holding on the line and not drifting up, giving the door to the inside line for Speedy. He's got 1 more lap to do it, and he will win his first race in this mini-modified division. White flag is out for John Bradley. Speedy is 2nd. Eric Sales is 3rd. These lap cars could play a huge factor as we come down to the finish. Bradley now slows down and allows Sales to close in. Off turn 4, checkered flag is in the air. Bradley will win it. Speedy Brissett gets 2nd. Eric Sales 3rd. Josh Leclerc finishes 4th. And the 77 of Chris Clark will round out the top 5. Career win number 1 for John Bradley in the 69.
Where'd he start? how long, you know.
Let's go downstairs. Rob Knowles is standing by, awaiting John Bradley to hop out of that number 69. Rob?
First career victory for John Bradley in the mini modified division. Always neat to see somebody pick up their first career win. All right, John's quickly out of his car. Give a nice round of applause, everybody, as he gets the win. That's his first career victory. Come on over here, John. Congratulations. You started on the outside of row number 2 and fairly quickly moved your way to the front. And then, do you check the scoreboard to see who's coming behind you? Speedy Brissett right behind?
Not a clue.
So did you know that Speedy, for much of especially those closing laps, no more than 2 car lengths off your back bumper?
I just kept right in the zone and stayed in it.
Tried to focus on your line around the racetrack. Now, you were in the bomber division, if I remember correctly, at one point, or in the mini modifieds. How many years in the mini mods?
On and off, about 6. I've been racing 9 years, so it's the first victory.
Well, congratulations. 9 years in the making. Way to go. You kept plugging at it, and to get your first win, it's pretty cool.
A lot of handling work.
Well, congratulations on getting that first win.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Bradley, everybody. Is shotgun on the field, starting dead last, defending track champion and point leader Robin Wood. That's the field, green flag. The field races off into turn number 2. That's where Dan Sullivan's going to take the lead as some cars fan out across the racetrack as they're running 4 wide going to the 3rd turn. A recipe for disaster. Here comes Brandon Atkins trying to squeeze through in the 4. Sean Duquette also trying to squeeze through with a number 18 along the front stretch. They're bumping and banging. Bucko Branham at car number 20 is down on the inside line with that 20 car trying to follow Nick Haywood through. Haywood is sideways off turn number 2. Now Branham threading the needle down the backstretch, going to turn number 3. Bucko Branham's out of a cannon, and he is flying towards the front with that 20 car. The leader is Dan Sullivan in the 3. Mike Shagnon runs 2nd. 3rd is Howard Stoner. 4th is Casey St. Clair. 5th is the 59 of Stephen Brissett, but look at Branham go. He's already into the top 5. Branham is rolling towards the front. Brissett backs out of it in the 59. He saw Haywood to the inside. Duquette at his door, and he'll lose a couple of spots. Dan Sullivan continues to show the way. His lead is some 6 car lengths over the 86 of Mike Shagnon. Then it's the 57 of Howard Stoner running in the 2nd spot. Running in the third position is now Branham. Make that 4th position. It is the Bucko Branham. 5th, it is the 56 of St. Clair. So again, the top 5, Sullivan in the 3, Shagnon in the 86, 57 Stoner, 20 Branham 4th. Then the 56 of Casey St. Clair running in the 5th position. Battle for 6 between Sean Duquette in the 18 and the 29 of Nick Haywood. Here comes Bucko Branham looking to get into the top 3 as he moves to the outside of Howard Stoner's number 57. Branham in car number 20 goes to the outside of the 57 car, trying to get that 3rd spot off of turn number 2. I think he's going to do it, and he will down the backstretch. Next, sizing up Mike Shagnon's 86. He goes right to the top of the track, trying to get to the 86 door on the outside. He'll go right up against the wall along the front stretch. Shagnon dives down to the inside. Branham finds room, and he'll fly through on the top of the track. Bucko Branham goes to the 2nd spot with car number 20. The yellow flag is out. It's for Travis Bruno's number 33. Spun and sitting over in turn number 4. The yellow flag is out. Not what Dan Sullivan wanted to see with that 3 car. Ready to roll again. 6 down, on our way to 25. Sullivan, Shagnon, row number 1. Slow pace to 4. Now on the hammer. Here they come. Green flag. Branham in car number 20 tries to move through on the inside, and he will. He's got the 3 right in front of him. Closing in on the back bumper. 3 wide off of turn number 2. Brandon Atkins goes around behind where there were 3 wide. Tries to keep it rolling. Keep it going. Good. He keeps it going, and I believe will stay under green. Meanwhile, the 20, Bucko Branham, is taking the lead. Danny Sullivan goes back to the 2nd spot. The 29 of Nick Haywood now running in 3rd. Now we've got cars spinning over in turn number 1. Chris Frenier's 93. Robin Wood might have been kicked to the curb on the top of turn number 1. And it's another yellow flag. 18 remain in the J&S Steel Sportsman feature event. Here comes the field into turn number 4. On the hammer now. Green flag. Bucko Branham shows the way. Danny Sullivan trying to get a run off the top of turn number 2 to hang on to that 2nd spot. It's Nick Haywood in car number 29 looking inside the 3 car, trying to get to the second position. Meanwhile, there's a number of cars running 3 wide off of turn number 4. Keith Pelkey with a good move to go to the top of the racetrack, threading the needle just inside the 86 and going to the top to try to challenge Jamie Begor for position. Begor in the 19 looks to the inside off turn number 2, has a nose underneath John Duquette, but not enough. He backed out of it, as that is for the 4th and 5th position. The leader out front, Bucko Branham, pulling away from Dan Sullivan, who's got his hands full with car number 29 and Nick Haywood. Haywood's looking down to the inside, going into turn number 2. Sean Duquette's trying to get a position away from Howard Stoner in the 57. Stoner's on the top. Duquette's down the inside. We saw the number 18 for Duquette not handle real well at times last week on that inside line. His car's faster on the top, but right now it's the inside line that he needs to come through if he's going to get that position away from Stoner. Jamie Begor trying to bide his time and figure out what line does he want to follow. Will he stick with Duquette on the inside or go to Stoner on the top of the track? Right now he's boxed. He's got nowhere to go, and he just has to wait to see how this plays out. And while that's happening in front of him, the leaders are checking out. Branham's lead is nearly half the front stretch already over Sullivan, who's holding off Nick Haywood with car number 29. Running in 4th, it is Sean Duquette in the 18. In the 5th position, it is the 57 of Stoner. Jamie Begor in car number 19 is in the 6th spot. 7th is Keith Pelkey in the 24. 8th is Mike Shagnon. 9th is Casey St. Clair. And Robin Wood is into the top 10 with the number 61. The battle for 2nd still ongoing. The battle for 4th ongoing. Sean Duquette seems to be making inroads to that 4th position. 5th is Howard Stoner. 6th is Jamie Begor. Again, he's taking a passive approach, just sitting behind Duquette, waiting to see if that line comes through. Stoner's running well on the outside of the racetrack with the ED Engineering number 57. Nick Haywood in the 29 and Dan Sullivan continue to do battle for the 2nd position. As Bucko Branham, that's fine with him as they battle for 2nd. He's just checking out. He's got a full half front stretch lead. At the line, Sullivan still by about a foot for that 2nd spot. Sean Duquette has made the pass of Howard Stoner. Then Stoner got his car down to the inside in front of Jamie Begor's 19. Taking some momentum away from Begor on the inside, who could not fill the hole after Duquette made the pass. Begor running in the 6th spot. The battle for 2nd has been ongoing now for a number of laps. And again, it was Danny Sullivan at the line who was in that 2nd spot.